welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time clicking on this video, my name is Mufaro and we are the Monday Makers. We are a family of movers and shakers. We are goal setters and we are goal crushers. So if this is your first time coming up on this video and this is a family that you want to be part of, then hey, hit that subscribe button. So what is it that we do on this channel? We speak about business, we talk about life, we talk about faith and everything that is in between. We also believe in making our Mondays, because our Mondays set the tone for the week, and the weeks become months and the months become years, and ultimately it makes our lives, and we do so by having one open and constructive conversation at a time. So, and to my Monday makers, my movers and my shakers, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. Thank you so much for coming back home. Thank you for all the love, the like, the support. Guys, we are 20 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. So please do encourage your friends, your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your lover, your man. Hey, everyone, just encourage them, your husband, your wife, so that we keep pushing, right? So in today, I have an interesting topic to discuss with you, and I'm sure you can tell by the title, you're wondering like, can't versus want or won't, like what is it that is happening, and what do I mean by it's time to take your power back, right? And so most of the times, and I say this also from my own life experience and from conversations that I've had with people, is that many people cry about the circumstances that they're in, the things that they're facing, the current cycle, or even if they notice that it's a toxic cycle, they realize that, hey, I'm in this place and I am sort of stuck. And it's so important that we have this honest conversation. So this is a disclaimer before we go far. I am going to step on your toes. It's going to be an open conversation, but remember, the whole point of our conversations is that they're supposed to be constructive. They're supposed to make us better people. We're supposed to leave knowing that, hey, okay, you know what? I can improve in this place and this place. So the first thing we want to talk about is that, where is your power? Who have you given your decision-making power to? What is it that is in control of the decisions that you are making, right? So what do I mean by this? What I'm talking about is that where you are currently finding yourself, who made a decision for you to be there? Is there someone you can blame? Do you blame the government? Do you blame your family? Do you blame a heartbreak? Do you blame an incident that happened to you? Is that what you are saying is responsible for bringing you to this current point in time that you are in? Now, while I don't deny that, true, there are external factors and they do have an influence when it comes to our patterns, when it comes to the negative patterns that we have. Almost 99% of it comes down to us. Yes, you have heard me correctly. You and I are the sole owners, we are the sole drivers as to why we are in the mess that we are in today. I love this quote by Lisa Bevere where she says, you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond what happens to you. So yes, you cannot control, someone cutting you in traffic, but you most certainly can control how you respond to them, right? Let's just be honest about that. So why I'm talking about it, is it that you can't or is it that you won't? You find many people complain and they say, hey, look, if my job gave me more money, I would be in a better financial position. If I had more exposure, I would be in a better position. If I had money, I would buy better groceries, and then, I would have a better health and all these things. And the honest truth is that we can go on and on and on, and we can attribute our failures, we can attribute the situation we are in, we can attribute our own destructive patterns that we have to anyone else except ourselves. And we have to take responsibility and acknowledge that we are responsible for staying in a destructive pattern. Yes, you may not have started it, but staying in it is your choice and it is your responsibility. And it is within your power to change a destructive pattern. It is within your power to change destructive cycles within your own life. Please take note, I said in your life, not on a national scheme, not on a regional scheme, in your own life. We are talking about our own lives. We're talking about ourselves as individuals to say, what is it in my life that is destructive? What pattern am I stuck in? What habit am I stuck in? And whom have I relegated that power to say, listen, I'm in this situation because of you. You are the one who has the deciding power. It's your feelings that have had the deciding power for us to stay here, to stay eating unhealthily. And as I say that, I'm convicting myself to stay in this place of eating unhealthily. It is, all our situation that is making us continue to spend money in an unnecessary manner. No, my dear, no, my darling, that is a destructive pattern that you have not yet decided to want to end. It's not that you cannot end it. There's a difference between I cannot and I will not, or I don't want to. Those are two very different things. And most of the times we hide behind cannot because we don't want to admit that we just don't want to, or we will not do this thing. Right? So the difference between cannot and will not. If you go to someone who does not have hands and you tell them, I want you to write, based off of their capacity, they don't have hands. So it's justified for them to say, I cannot write. Because when we look at their capacity, their capabilities, sure enough, they're not meeting the criteria of being able to write by hand. But then let's say you go to someone who is left-handed, and there's a requirement for them to start to write with their right hand. And they tell you that I cannot. That's not true. That is an I will not or I don't want to. Reason being, they don't want to move beyond the discomfort, the pain, the process of transitioning from writing with my left hand to writing with my right hand. Most of us have hidden behind I cannot when it's an I will not because it's uncomfortable. It's scary, it's humiliating, it exposes me. And yet that is more of an I don't want to rather than I cannot. So is it truly that you cannot save, or is it that you just don't want to save yet? You don't desire it deep enough to want to do it. I was having a conversation earlier with someone and I was telling them about something that I could not do. And in that moment, God stopped me in my tracks and said, is it that you cannot or that you just don't want to? And the honest truth was that it's not that I lacked capability to do that thing. I just didn't want it. I just didn't want it that badly. And most of the times it's difficult for us to have an honest conversation with ourselves and say, listen, I just don't want it that badly. I don't want to get in shape that badly. I don't want to manage my finances that badly. I don't want to be in control of my future that badly. And so it's easier to hide behind, hey, I cannot, than I just don't want to. So the moment we're able to have that honest conversation with ourselves, we can begin to take things forward. We can realize and see, what is it that I gave my power to? What did I delegate my deciding power to? What have I allowed to keep me in this destructive pattern, in this destructive habit? Is it that I really, really am stuck because of circumstances beyond my own control? Or is it that I'm stuck because I would rather choose comfort? I would rather be comfortable than experience the discomfort of growth. I would rather stay in what I know than be exposed to the humiliation of learning and failing. So it's not that it's not within you, that you cannot establish a new pattern. You are very able to establish new and healthy patterns that are going to make you a better you. You are able to establish a new and healthy pattern that takes you to the place that you want to be. Every time when I find myself drawing back or sliding back from habits that I'd set in place for myself, I always come back to having that honest conversation to say, you know what? I can do this. I can establish a good and healthy pattern for myself. It just takes me to have the willpower to go back to waking up at 5 a.m. It just takes me to have the willpower and the desire to go back to reading a book a day, like a book from a chapter a day, to increase my knowledge. It just takes me having the willpower to decide and the desire to say, I want to get back into shape, so I'll make sure I exercise at least 30 minutes a day. All of that is on me. The same way with us, all the good things we want to see, the nice patterns we admire in people's lives, it's because they have realized that I have the power to do it. It is within me. I can actually do it. I get to decide which patterns do I want to stay in. I get to decide, do I want to stop this thing? And I continue and I establish a new thing. And establishing something takes time. It takes patience, it takes tenacity, and it takes consistency. It's not easy to wake up every day at 5 a.m. But you have to cultivate that. We're going to have to nurture it. It's not a 2-minute noodle where you can swap and trade an unproductive personality for a productive one, and you just bang, pop in the microwave, and all of a sudden we have you. And you're this amazing, super productive person. That does not happen. Anything good that you see in this life, it is taking intentionality to cultivate and nurture and care for that very thing. So I hope you're encouraged. I hope you are pushed to have an honest conversation about the things you said you cannot do. Was it really about capacity? Was it really beyond your ability? Or was it more about you just didn't want to? And be honest about the reasons why you don't want to do that thing yet. And then you can start to stir up desire. You can begin to weigh out the pros and the cons so that you can have a desire to take care of yourself, have a desire to edify yourself, have a desire to educate yourself, have a desire to commit to God. All those things. That power lies within you, the power to change your life, the power to change the trajectory of your life, the power to create and establish new patterns, new healthy patterns. That ability is within you. It really is within you. So, from me to you, see you in our next video.